With over 7 million users around the world, few titles have grown in popularity as fast as Smite. And while many will point to the active community developer Hi-Rez has cultivated for that growth, a lot of work goes into creating gods fans want to play as. AJ Walker is the lead designer for Smite. He's helped bring characters like Fafnir to life.
Mostly the Japanese and Celtic ones, which have been added since I've been working here, they were really fan requested. There was lots of feedback that was like, you guys are, we love the Norse gods and the Greek gods, but there's so many different things that you're not covering. So we listened to that feedback and heard that people wanted a larger variety. So we're like, okay, we're going to try to prioritize adding a few new pantheons first, make sure we get that, and now continue filling them out.
He says this year's schedule of new characters is already planned, but a lot of thought goes into these releases. But bringing in new gods is a tricky job, as they need to keep fans guessing on what they'll bring in next, while also providing interesting characters to play as.
So we have no pattern, is one thing that's really great. We don't want a pattern. We don't want people to feel bored ever by it, like, oh, I got a hunter, and now I know there won't be another hunter for 6 months or something like that. So we kind of do it based a little bit off surprise, a little bit off feedback, a little bit off role variety, a little bit off pantheon variety, a little bit on visual variety, so we want to get male, female, monster rotation, and we pretty much work it out. I like to say it's like a Sudoku puzzle.
Sometimes, however, when they finally decide on a god, there isn't much to go on. Brian Grayson is the project lead for the newest entry in the Smite universe, Smite Rivals, and as he described, sometimes the team has nothing to go on when they bring in a new god.
Take Neath as an example. If you go and try to find traditional sketches of Neath, you won't find what you have in Smite. We really have a team of excellent creative people who came up with what she should look like and built it. And now people, when they think of Neath, they think of Smite Neath. They may not even know it. They might just Google like Neath on Google, and up comes the Smite image and say, oh yeah, that's how Neath has always looked. They didn't know. It was a great team of creative people who came up with that. A lot of energy. And so I think there's a compelling world. That's one piece.
Grayson's experience in the Smite universe led him to work on Smite Rivals, where once again, the designs of these gods are changing. Smite Rivals brings a top-down view in the mobile tug-of-war game, meaning alterations had to be made on existing characters.
The models in Smite are awesome, but they were really, really detailed. So detailed that trying to read them on a small phone device, we knew was going to be a challenge. When you get that much detail, you scale it down, it just becomes very noisy, and you can't really see what the character is. So we said there's two ways we can approach this. We can either smooth out the detail and keep the characters as people know them, or we can do something else. We can embrace a new style. We took a poll from people who were going to work on the project and other people in the studio and said, what would get you excited? What would you really like to see? And surprisingly, people were like, oh, we really want to see Chibi. Like, what is Chibi Thor, like, Chibi Neath going to look like, or Chibi Kukulkan, or Chibi Hades? And we're like, Chibi, yeah, that's kind of a cool art style. Maybe we'll smooth it out, and we'll make them look cutesy. And, on mobile, that will expand our audience to maybe a slightly younger demographic who maybe hasn't seen Smite before, but it'll also give our existing fans like a cool new kind of take on the gods they knew and the characters they knew. And so we just ran with it.
With this new art direction for Smite, it's a chance to bring in a whole new audience. Whether it's changing characters we know and love, or creating all new gods to play as, Hi-Rez owes a lot of its success to its ability to create new and interesting characters. There will always be a need to innovate, and innovation starts literally at the drawing board. For CG Magazine, I'm Cody Arm.